everybody, to Digestif. Thank you guys for tuning in once again, or I mean, at this point, a lot of you for the first time. We hope that's the stage we're at. We're not sitting here on our high horse, acting like we have all these listeners that we're just trying to get content to. No, we're not on top of the mountain yet. We're at the very bottom. We're actually at the check-in line, and the line is very long. And a lot of people are angry in the line, and the line kind of goes in different zigzags, different directions. We're not in the building yet, but when we are, once we get into the building, things will hopefully get a lot better. I am Sam Mushman. I'm here.
Hey, my man. I am doing a little unwell. I got my my second vax today, so I'm a little bit feverish, a little bit headachy.
Okay, understood.
But I'm doing good. We're doing it for the people.
Understood. Way to just be a good friend, because you came in, you got me chicken wings, you were in a good mood, your hair looks fine, your suit's still tight. I mean, you also never know what to say in the beginning of the podcast.
Exactly, you never know.
You kind of just lead with, you kind of pause for a second, you think about how you're actually doing, and you really contemplate that question. All it
internalize
is
a little too much.
You internalize everything. All this is the back and forth. Hey, what's in my co-host Robbie go? I'm good. You know, my balls kind of itch, but I'm all right. The second vaccine is a legitimate thing to be going through. Did you get? I assume you got it in your arm, right? Did you get both shots in your arm?
That's right.
So
gone done it.
So is your arm in pain, or is your soul in pain? Is something else? What's going on?
It's all good. I mean, there's really just always the inner hatred and self-deprecation, but I mean, it's just a little soreness, a little bit of feverish, a little bit of headache, but we're carrying on.
As artists getting the vaccine, it's got to be such a horrific combination, right? It just brings out all the depression and anxiety that we try to overvalue and over, because we're all a bunch of pussies. Like we can't deal with any sort of turmoil in life. I mean, like life is tragic. That's the reality. Life is a tragic thing. But as artists, as emotional people, you know, and now with the pandemic and everything and the vaccine, and you know, it's like so easy for us to get all up in our feelings, right? Mm-hmm. I but you know, it's good you're vaccinated. Do you feel free? Do you feel like a free bird?
Feel good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that good to go.
That's good. Did you do it more for dating purposes now that the world has opened up? Are you did you do it for certain formidable suitors, or did you just do this because you felt it was the right thing to do?
I felt it was the right thing to do, but I think pushed it over the edge is even just a few professional things. Even Lucas is going through this right now, where it's like, if you don't have your Vax card, can't roll with us to this sweet overseas gig anymore.
Got it.
So there's like a little bit of professional, a little bit of personal.
Got that overseas money coming soon. That's nice.
This man.
Yeah. Where we going?
Apparently Dubai, December 5th, but pending India's
a Dubai
situation.
gig December. You would get kidnapped. Robbie would be fine. Robbie would make friends with all the darkest billionaires that ride on camels, and they fucking just throw their half a sandal at like some American girl that's getting paid to just be shat on for the week. Robbie would befriend all those people. Robbie would be a prince in Dubai. He'd be the only white prince. He would just.
I've been looking forward to going.
He would be that guy. He'd be like that skinny white guy, just in a golden robe, just walking around. Lucas would. I don't know what would happen to Lucas. Lucas would
get kidnapped.
Yeah, but like what next?
Would you join me? I would go to like
because they don't like. I mean, the thing that Lucas has going for him is he doesn't like. He could say he's not from the United States, which I told him already is good for the brand. We've talked about this already. And by the way, he's wearing a TD Bank Ameritrade graphic tee, which we're going to get into that too. We're going to get into the inner meanings of that and why this company felt the need to make those. I think that's what's more important there. But the reality is Lucas could play the whole Peruvian card, because the reality is they hate white America, as they should. We're not the most likable form of people, let's just be honest. They hate white America. They want to bring over Americans, I think, unfortunately, mainly females. But, I mean, who knows? There might be an old Arab queen that wants to take a big dookie on Robbie Sko's chest, right? We don't know. That might exist. But they want to shit on America. And the good thing that Lucas has going for him is he has a little more culture to him. He doesn't really represent that racist white privileged America, that Western civilization,
I might do those type of activities in Dubai. Just like I heard they got a great indoor ski resort. I'm just like, oh,
You would be that
sounds
ski
fun.
instructor. Yeah. At the
I'll be
indoor
all
ski
about that
mountain in Dubai.
Dubai.
Unreal. As always in the Digestif, we're drinking some good. We're drinking bubbles this week. Popped open a bottle of Schramsberg sparkling wine, Method Traditional from California. It's fine. Again, I don't save the best wine for this show. I don't. Once we get some more listenership, we can dive into some better wines. But this is a pull and tug type of situation. We have to build the viewership. We will build the wine base. But this is a really solid wine. The key word here is Method Traditional. What does that mean? That means the traditional sparkling wine method, essentially the champagne method, done not in Champagne, done in this case in California. What is the champagne method? It's double fermentation. So essentially, it is the first fermentation happens after they harvest the fruit, and in Champagne, it's harvested in a cooler climate. What happens is they press the juice. The sugars in the juice start to combine with the yeast, start to make alcohol, CO2. But then what happens is it gets cold because the winters are cold there, and the wine goes dormant. The yeast goes dormant during the winter, and it's not completely, fermentation hasn't been completed yet. But the winemakers will then bottle that wine before it's finished with fermentation, and then all of a sudden spring comes, heats up a little bit, the yeast waking back up again, they finish their job in the bottle, and that is what creates the carbonation, the bubbles. If the bottles will end up almost exploding. You have to break them off, you have to cap them, you have to add something called dosage, which is a little bit of sweetness. It's like a nectar they add into the wine for the final sweetness level, and so it's double. It's a double fermentation method, very difficult method. It happens in the bottle, and that is what Method Traditional means. Now, Prosecco there's a tank method where first fermentation happens, and then it's put into a pressurized tank, and then that's how the second fermentation occurs. It's not as expensive. It's not as high quality, but there's still amazing high quality Proseccos, but Prosecco just doesn't use the champagne method. So this is Method Traditional, essentially a classic method done in another place. It's kind of like when Trump was trying to adopt a totalitarian type of communism, Russian communism, in America, right? That would have been America's Method Traditional. It's tradition to China and Russia, right? We don't have communism in Russia and China. We don't have totalitarianism. We don't have a demonic state where women don't have rights, and there's like different types of swamp creatures that emerge in the dark, and all that good stuff that comes along with it. We don't have as many offshore accounts. Actually, we do. But the reality is that being adopted in a democracy, turning it into something else, that would have been a version of, in the wine world, a Method Traditional. So you'll see Method Traditional on sparkling wine from really anywhere. You could see it in sparkling wine in Long Island, New York. You could see it in, a lot of times Cava will say Method Traditional. All Cava in Spain uses that same method. Like I said, Prosecco won't. They have their own method, but that is what that means. So this is 100% Chardonnay, and we know that because the bottle says Blanc de Blanc. So anytime we see on a champagne bottle or another sparkling wine bottle, Blanc de Blanc, that means 100% Chardonnay. If we see Blanc de Noir, that means it's almost 100% Pinot Noir. So now knowing that, what do we think? What are our thoughts? Is it good? Does it suck? How do we feel about it?
Tasty, feeling free, it's very, very light. I thought it would be sweeter too. I'm glad it's not like too sweet.
That's the Jersey palate for it, and I'm right there with you. I've lived in the state my whole life, but a lot of times when we think about a bottle of bubbles at a local Gary's wine shop or wherever the hell you're at, you think sweet. You think of the same thing. People think the same thing with when they hear Zinfandel. Zinfandel, for a lot of high quality wines, is a dry red wine. It's a grape that does well in a cold or warm climate, especially in a warm climate. But this whole movement of white Zinfandel, which is just a sweet kind of rosé style wine, is what made everyone think Zinfandel is sweet, but it is essentially not. It's kind of like it's kind of like a white Zinfandel. You think it's sweet, but then you take a sip of that shit, and you're like, oh my god, this is horrible. It has a bite to it. Now I feel like shit the next day. It's kind of like when you try to befriend one of the Mickey Mouse characters in Times Square. Do you ever take a picture with one of them and then not tip them? God forbid.
Get you.
You take a picture with Elmo, He's all like crusty. He's got cum on his side of his ear. There's like 5 Elmos in Times Square. I'm not saying it's all the Elmos. It's like one Elmo, maybe 2. Well, 2 of them have herpes, and then one of them has a little bit of crustiness. You could tell that was the oldest costume. There's always one Elmo that like has severe eating disorder. It's just like there's Elmo's supposed to be healthy and full. You know, like, this is a very sad Elmo, like engulfed eyes, beady eyes. You take a picture with him, and then you just hear this man under the costume being like, yeah, so that'll be like $5-10, you know? And if you don't have cash on you, they'll fucking yap back at you. They'll get pissed.
Bark at you.
I don't blame them, man. I don't blame. If you're going to do that job, right, it's like tipping in a restaurant. You got to expect that. You got to tip them something. What do you think? They're out there for free? Now, you know, do they suffer from some sort of clinical depression? Are they fresh out in some sort of circumstance? Have they been incarcerated more than once? Sure. But the point is, like, it's not the best job, right? And not every one of them that do that is probably in that situation. I'm being very glass half full here. But the reality is, you got to tip these guys, you know? So I think that's where the problem arises. It's also that American ignorance.
Exactly. It'd be hard to manage, but maybe they should get some sort of security guard that follows around all the mascots, some sort of like pimp for them that makes sure they get paid for their pictures. They don't have to like speak.
Oh, man, now we're really going into like America's dirtiest jobs, more emotionally. This is America's dirtiest emotional jobs, right? You're not picking up cow manure, but you are emotionally picking up shit every day. Because if you're the security guard that got the responsibility to oversee the Sesame Street creatures in Times Square, that is like you guys as a musician, right? As musicians coming out with that album you've worked for like 10, 15 years on, and it ends up just being like elevator music. You go into the elevator, you hear Lucas's little sax, like, you know, like some little horseshit solo he did, not one of his best works. They didn't pick the best one because they don't know. It's the fucking Eyes Wide Shut Marriott. They don't give a shit. They took his album. They picked track 7. It was his worst solo. They put that in the elevator. That's his future. That's his future. That's Lucas's future if he doesn't take off the TD Ameritrade graphic tee. You see, do you understand when you're a multi-global corporation, especially as a bank, and you come out with like a funny, fun-loving graphic tee? Why are we switching places? Are we breaking this down?
I thought you were diving into the old TD.
I know, but you can dive into it too.
I will.
Shit on my job, please.
I'm not shitting on your job. I want to know the thought process behind the corporate office that said, "Hey, let's have our employees wear the graphic tee on Friday because we're fun. Everything's fine. We've never been in trouble for anything. There's no offshore accounts here. We're fun. Look at the graphic tee. It's lime green. We're banking. Banking's fun. Everybody's having fun. Let's give out beach balls. TD Ameritrade beach ball. Give it to the little Peruvian boy at the front desk. Give him a beach ball. You get a beach ball and you get a beach ball. We'll be the Oprah of beach balls and graphic tees. And come bank with us.
You know what the worst part is? My sticky notes, that you know what they say on them?
Yeah.
When I write something down for a customer, it says unexpectedly human. And there's a heart on every sticky note.
You're okay. Undress this. Your sticky notes are
sticky notes that the bank makes
pre-written.
They just say on there with a giant green heart, unexpectedly human.
Unexpectedly human.
Unexpectedly human.
And you know what you got to say to that? You're right. You're right. Unexpectedly human. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect for a heart or a soul and things with values and dreams. I didn't expect it. I expected a big corporate office out in like Omaha somewhere where, you know, the feds aren't checking in. Just coming up with going over graphic tee ideas. After you laundered $4 billion from Bermuda. Going over the graphic tees and the beach balls. Right?
Casual Friday.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. And this is no knock against you because this is not what you do. What you do is, I mean, we all know in this room that Lucas can make a living tomorrow full time as a saxophonist. He's done it before. He will do it again. He just likes the extra money. Good for him. Let's just like set the stage here. I mean, we're shitting on a bigger thing here, but you know, at the same token, though, you were happy to receive a graphic tee. You thought it was fun.
I have to wear a tie every day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something different, you know? They are using you. You are a walking billboard that, like, we're not so bad. You know?
Unexpectedly human.
Unexpectedly human. Unexpectedly. It's just like a little green TD gremlin coming out from behind the We're unexpectedly, we're human. We're right here.
It's bad. It's really bad.
I mean, no, it's not really bad. It's fun. It's fun to talk about it, you know, because these are the conference calls that you wish to be on. And this is, honestly, let me also kind of break down why I'm going in this direction and why I have this vision of TD in my head. Because during COVID, and one of my clients for when I do virtual shows now that unfortunately ain't going anywhere. That's where corporate America is going. Not back to brick and mortar. Not back to the office. Keeping the Snuggies on. At home. Unprecedented times. We're going to be in unprecedented times in 2026. Everything's going to be unprecedented. And the whole concept of corporate America entertainment now is virtual happy hours. Did it help me and my bank account? Yes. Okay? I'm not going to be the douche that's going to like act like, oh, poor me. No, they're great. They're great. They're actual companies with budgets, and you can't say the same thing about comedy clubs. And sorry, not sorry, right? But the reality is, I was doing a couple events for TD Ameritrade, and this is where I noticed I'm like, the beauty of being able to be a fly on the wall, right, in the right meetings. Nothing better in a nice dark corporate meeting to be a fly on the wall with no skin in the game. God, there's nothing better. I was getting ready to do my set. The way these things work, they book you to be like the clown of the day. Okay, you know, hey, we have Zoom meetings all day. Then at 5 p.m. we have a clown. He's gonna fucking dick around and talk about why we're in such unprecedented times, right? And they book you. You sit there like an asshole and you wait for the head, the CEO, COO, whoever it is, to kind of introduce you. And they do a horrific job doing that because you're used to comedy club hosts introducing you, and now you have this guy. Well, and you know, we really are excited for this opportunity because, you know, we're the type of company that goes a little outside the box sometimes. No, you don't, Aaron. No, you don't. You booked a comic to fucking talk about Malbec. And that's why my brand, like that's why it works for this thing. I can fucking say whatever I want as long as I relate it back to fermented grape juice. Like, yeah, sure. We're all on the same page, right? But they have to introduce you, and they always give an opening spiel, right? And it just so happened that there was some news to be said on this one show before I took the floor. And it was a TD Ameritrade group. About 20 of their executives from different offices were on it, and this one guy, the main guy, and you could tell he's checked out, right? His Zoom was in his backyard. He was on his lawn chair, you know, casual day, but for him, casual is still like, you know, the
did he have one of these shirts on?
Had a Charles Twitt shirt, you know, tucked into his khakis. That's casual for him, you know what I mean? But like out on the patio, fire pit going, everyone else in their apartments just shuddering for like what the future of their careers are going to be because they've all been in their living rooms for 9 months, right? And he's just breaking down, you know, one thing we do good is trading. That's what we do best. And you know, this quarantine showed us that trading, it's all about sticking with what you do best and doing it better. Some horse shit, right? And then the next line, he goes, and that is why we're super excited to effective Monday to have been bought out by Charles Schwab, and you know, really, you know, being in the hands of another brilliant mind in this industry. And you know, some of us might be together, some of us might not, but at the end of the day, we're all going to grow as a company because of this merger, and there's going to be more details for that for each and every one of you in an email next Monday. Without further ado, Sam Mushman is a comedian and a sommelier, and he's here to have a quirky time and takes a little wine, do a little jokes. Sam, how about you take it away?
Yo!
Yeah. The horror that I saw on these 20 people's faces as their careers flashed before their eyes. And now I'm here fucking talking about Malbec. It was one of the most absurd experiences to to be a fly on the wall. And, I tried to, obviously, like, what do? You try to loosen up the room. And, so I tried to play into what this douche was saying. I was like, hey, it's always great to know what you do well. Cliff said that's trading for you guys. I wish I was good at something like that. But my thing I do well is comparing fermented grape juices to failed relationships. The guy got the fucking easy laugh. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to, like, break the room. But it could not have been broken because the deets were already dropped. The ball was dropped, ladies and gentlemen. And then they had to listen to my horse shit for 45 minutes as we tasted wine with a little bit of comedy. And by the end of it, it was just like I got off that Zoom and my wife was there. She's like, how'd that go? She always just checks in. And I was like, this is getting good. This is getting real good. I mean, when as a comic can you be in a meeting like that and just sitting there smiling like, oh, sucks for you, sucks for you, sucks for you. Oh, it's my turn. Okay, great. But like the transition was just so phenomenal from this guy. It was like, all right, well, just here to let you guys know, we've been bought up by Charles Schwab. All your dreams, hopes, and desires might be on edge. All your careers might be not sustainable. They might be ending next week. But anyway, it's now time for the clown. We got a clown here who's going to dance around a little bit, talk some horse shit, and explain why these are such unprecedented times. All right? Enjoy hell, motherfuckers. Like, that's really what it felt like. Right?
That's how it feels every day.
I mean, and it was so funny because, I spent 3-4 years in true corporate America. I sold commercial ad space. I got to see the big cubicle office. I was a cube monkey for 3-4 years. That whole world. Water cooler talk. Did you see the game? Monday Night Football. Yeah, the Jags played the Bucs. Oh, they need a defensive line. They need a new quarterback. Like doing that every Monday, right? I did that, right? And there is a real beauty to people that fall into that and being able to watch a meeting like that unfold. And that is why I have the feelings I have about your graphic tee.
Can I run this by you? I had an interview this week. So I'm trying to reduce my hours there. 'Cause I'm trying to focus on the music and everything. And they asked me where I see myself in 5 years. And I don't know. You told me this is a good answer, but
did you say Cuba?
No.
Okay.
I said, ideally, I'd like to be doing my music thing full time, because that's where my heart's at. And but I like doing this too.
Yeah. And I'm sure their response was, "Oh, that's exciting for us. We're going to get back to you in 3 to 5 business days, and we look forward to hearing from you some more." I assume that was the response, right?
I think they just care that I'm bilingual. They really need someone bilingual. I think I might have got it, guys. I think I might have got it.
Do you think anyone in the Omaha corporate office is bilingual?
No.
Right? Half of them own steak and Bojangles. You think they're fucking bilingual?
It's an asset.
So you said this to me too before the show started. You kind of broke down this interview. You were concerned that you might not have handled it well. No. You first said that you thought you handled it great, and then you gave me some chicken wings, and I ate all of them. And then by the end of it, you opened up about the interview. You were a little unsure about the interview. So do you feel that you were, after you watched me consume 9 chicken wings, do you feel that you were a little too 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
That's my anxiety. Yeah,
we're on the TD train, right? They gave the graphic to you, put it right on. They thought this guy's part of the team.
I should have been like,
right?
Yeah, I'd love to be.
You should have answered that question the way you put on that graphic tee. They're like, this is our bilingual guy.
Yeah, I'll be a bilingual manager.
This is Carlos. Lucas. Whatever. This guy, he can speak Spanish. My apologies. Well, that's probably what the VP, scuffled that up a couple times. But yeah, man, they thought you were a team player, and now all of a sudden, we have passions, we have talent.
My branch manager, I told I was going for this, and she told me to be super honest.
I think you're gonna get the job, to be honest with you. I think like there's no need to break this down more outside of the fact of how else could you have handled that question, maybe like just for fun. I think you're fine.
All right.
Do you think you got the job?
I don't know. I doubt things.
I think the only better way, and Robbie, weigh it on this. The only better way to answer a question like that is to just throw them completely off guard, right? So they go, all right, so you're here. You're a part-time musician. You're full-time at TD. So yeah, you're here for the part-time job. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? And you just go, wait, 3 or 5? Yeah. 5 years. Where's your? Oh, I want to be an astronaut. And just stare at them.
Like just stare right for it.
Blank stare. And they go, okay. And then you correct them. Oh, wait. Oh, do you mean 3 years? Oh, 3? Yeah, I'll probably, do the music thing. I'll be at a bank. And they're like, okay, no, the question was 5 years. Oh, astronaut.
Full-blown astronaut.
Astronaut. With no reasoning for how you're going to get there, how you came up with that thought. And then, honestly, that might have been the better answer because now they're like, this guy has no clue. He'll be part-time at the Raritan branch for the next 12 years. You almost like reverse psychology.
There you go.
You reverse psychology where now they have no faith in your plans that don't involve banking. That's what you do. You just come off clinically insane with your dreams, and now they're like, okay, this guy's gonna be banking for 25 years.
Clinically insane.
And you're in there, and now you got the job. So it's like, how do you handle that question the best, especially if it's a part-time thing? It's like you don't want to come off too sincere. You don't want to come off completely botched. I don't know. I think you did fine.
Did fine. Word.
I think you got the gig, bro.
Fucking hope so, man.
Yeah. Robbie, do you think this is going to be a good transition for Lucas? Do you think TD is a good place for him?
No.
I think the less hour situation is phenomenal. And that's funny you mentioned astronaut. I don't know if I told you that I worked on a project for NASA.
Well, you wear a NASA graphic T-shirt.
So that says it all, right?
I think that's where I was. Honestly, it's funny you brought that up because I think you've wore that shirt like 9 times since I've known you. And I think there was a little bit of subliminal messaging in my head about the astronaut. No, seriously, because when I think of you, I think of a man, if you weren't doing what you're doing, this whole music lab would be a hovercraft. And you would just be building a hovercraft that you're going to, launch somewhere or some sort of I don't know.
Getting more aspects of it. We got the little galaxy here. You got
that's cute.
Got my crazy graphic tees.
So break down this experience you had.
So this is an interesting project. So it was called Trash to Supply Gas.
Oh, because you were an engineering major,
Chemical engineering. Yeah.
And you had your whole life lined up, and now you're here. Yeah. So continue. Yeah. So this was one of the projects when the engineering thing was still going.
And it was fun. We'd have teleconferences with NASA. It was like in New York. We'd teleconference with them down at Fort Lauderdale, and then we were working on a method to convert waste products on a manned space mission to Mars and convert that into fuel for like the ride back or for more fuel there. So this is like shit, like human feces, piss, waste towelettes, like everything. And we're like we're seeing like how hard we can push these reactors with like simulations to like see how hot we could get it without like having it blow up the fucking everyone on the spacecraft.
You did all that, and now you ended up with me. Jesus Christ. This is sad. But I mean, it's awesome to hear for me. I look at you and I like a little tear drips down the head of my penis. I feel for you. But I mean, that would have also, I feel like, after you completed a couple projects, you would have still got the entertainment bug. You wouldn't have been able to be in there long term.
Entertainment bug kept creeping in.
Yeah.
One gig led to another. Students.
One bar gig led to another. And that, made me realize I got to get off this multi-platform worldwide NASA project that converts unreusable energy off the face of the moon that will then eventually shoot a missile to another galaxy. And I was starting to get piano bar gigs. I just knew what my real calling was. Isn't that the story of every artist right there?
Amen.
Amen to that.
Amen.
Led to some good shit.
But I mean, hey, we're all getting older, and I say that to say this. I drove by what I thought was a disturbing sign the other day. There was a nursing home in the area, right? And especially after the whole nursing home scandal with COVID and everything that happened in New York, I just thought, it's not time for catchy slogans.
Oh, brother, what do we got?
Homes, I drove by one and it didn't even give you any contact information of how to go to the nursing home or admit your relative to the nursing home. All it said is, we make aging a part of life. That's what it said. We make aging a part of life. And I was just trying to unwrap that in my brain for a little bit. I'm not what would be, is there any, I mean, is there any worse slogan for? I mean, at this point, just go. If you're gonna die here and you know it, clap your hands. Like that, that's the same. I mean, how more blunt are we being? I mean, is there any business left that tries to lead an element of surprise? Like, we get it. The nursing home's supposed to be the last stop. You're on the back 9. You're on hole 17. You know, it's time for the nursing home. It's an understood thing, but do we have any poise as a country anymore to just kind of be like, I mean, whatever happened to the bullshit lies the nursing home would tell you? You know, there's just some guy in a 3-piece suit. Like, it's always called like Craftbury Estates, you know, or Bennington Beach Estates, right? It's a nursing home where people die and play checkers. Like, everyone knows that, but you don't say that. You don't say we make aging a part of life.
Dress it up.
Aging's a part of life. It sounds crusty, doesn't it?
It's reaching.
Be a true nursing home. Be a fucking dark money nursing home, right? Have a couple nice views, right? Have the landscaping the best in the front entrance, and then once mom or dad go to the back room, it's a big white room where people are sitting around watching a 24-inch TV. You know, I just think it's you're trying to be someone you're not.
Mm-hmm. Aging a part of life. I have a fun time recently trying to make death a part of life. That's just been more helpful. Because I feel like in the West, we're very much like, aging is awful.
In the West? What do you mean by that in the West?
Western Hemisphere.
Oh,
and like
yeah,
versus like in the East, like the elders are very much respected, and aging is like, oh, wow, you probably know things. That's fantastic.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But
you hit the nail on the head with that.
So I've kind of like adopted this, you know, kind of stoic philosophy, and I even just carry around like a little reminder. It's like a golden metal coin I keep in my wallet at all times.
Yeah.
Just says like, you could leave life right now, memento mori. And it's like a reminder. It's interesting that like each day is like one day that's given to death.
You're like the kind of like weird skinny white man version of the Buddhists that walk around giving you the little golden coins, and they all have different quotes on them. But like your quotes are just kind of dark and cryptic and don't lead you anywhere. They're just thoughts that come to your head.
Yeah.
And like you're not religiously backed. You have no affiliation. You just walk around, hand out the same little quotes, just things that go through your brain. That would be a awesome local caricature of a person for you to grow into.
How random would it get? Like, what would it put on there? Like, third door on the left? Like, what would you put on these guys?
They get more and more vague.
Third door on the left.
Third door on the left. I mean, one of the coins would definitely be, we make aging a part of life.
That's gotta be.
That would be in there. Yeah, that would be great, Robbie. You would play. There's so many characters that Robbie could be. Robbie, I mean, like, Robbie could do whatever he wants. This kind of guy, and go through life in the funniest way possible, and you could be whatever you want to be. Do you realize that? Do you realize the capabilities that you have?
I'm thinking about the whole Dubai ski instructor thing now. That sounds fun.
Oh, what
the Dubai ski instructor thing.
Dubai ski instructor, yeah. For sure. I mean, that's not a place you want to live.
No, probably not.
It's not a place you want to live. It's like plastic. It's like a plastic city, you know? It looks like it was built yesterday.
You think I have freedom? I have even more freedom now with the vax. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that you're a person that could just show up somewhere every day and just make up a new thing that you do, and people would just be like, "Oh, absolutely." Because
on board.
Because your getup is the epitome of like miscellaneous. You know,
hodgepodge.
Yeah, you could have a bunch of different skills. Like you could have a bunch of different skill sets, and in your getup, in the astrology graphic tee and the tight suit with the stoner hair, I mean, you could really be whoever you want to be. That's the beautiful thing of TikTok now. You could be a TikTok personality that could have any expertise and it would work.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough indie coffee shops around here. I miss New York for that. New York is a great mecca of douchey coffee shops. I like a nice French bakery. I like a nice Mason Kaiser. I like a nice Ricotle. I like there's not enough Rooks around here. There's the one coffee shop in town. It's fine. It's good. No, I actually know the guy who runs it. He's a very nice guy. He makes great coffee. But it's just I've been going to Dunkin' a lot, and I can't do the fact like this franchise refuses to grow with the times. We are in a time of liquid sugar. That is how coffee works now. It's 2021. I'm not going to drink it black like my dad. My dad would call me a pussy. He did the other day. I'm not drinking coffee black, right? I will drink cold brew. I'll drink an Americano. I'll drink stuff that tastes like coffee, right? And I won't put a whole lot of milk in it. And I like my oat milk because at this point, I might as well just have a dildo up my ass, right? I like a nice flavored oat milk. I like a nice regular oat milk. But I need simple syrup or agave nectar. What the fuck is so hard to understand about that? Isn't everybody doing that now? Do people still use sugar packets?
I can't believe it. I was trying to ice coffee from there the other day.
Dunkin' Donuts refuses to carry it.
Teeth just chewing on the ice that's just not breaking it at all. That's ridiculous.
You were chewing on the...
Like there was just so much sugar just at the bottom because they don't have liquid sugar.
It's horrific. I thought you were going into a different thing that you like to do where you chew on ice, but no. You're right. You're spot on. It's like everybody... I mean, how many requests must they get a day, right? For just, can I just get like a little bit of simple syrup, a little bit of agave nectar? Like everyone else has, like, what are we doing? How much is that gonna cost to keep in the inventory? And then I started to think on it, right? I started to think on it, and they always give me the same rebuttal. They always go, well, no, do you want caramel? Do you want mocha? Do you want? I'm like. I don't want chocolate. It's coffee. It's fucking 10 a.m. Well, you put a little bit of agave nectar in it. You ask me if I want chocolate syrup like a fucking toddler. But then they keep going. Okay, well, you know, do you want mint? Do you want caramel? Do you want dark mocha? Do you want hazelnut? I'm like, I want just a little bit of sugar and hot water. It comes together. It melts. It forms simple syrup. You take that. You take a bucket, you go equal parts hot water, boiling hot water to sugar, you stir it around, you have simple syrup. How do you make agave nectar? It comes from the agave plant. I don't know how. I'm too Caucasian for that. But you can buy it in the Whole Foods section of the ShopRite. It's called the Nutrition Center, and it's great. And they sell agave nectar. Or you can have turbinado syrup, but we ain't there yet. We don't even have simple syrup or agave yet. We ain't there yet, right? And it's so frustrating, but then I have to remind myself that This is the coffee shop for blue collar people, right? And I respect that, you know. I think I'm a little more blue collar than I like to think I am. I like to pretend that I'm doing better than I am. I'm not doing that good. My bank account probably looks like a lot of blue collar people, but that's not where I'm going. It's not a financial thing, right? It's a lifestyle thing, right? I live like a cuck. I'm a prissy like kind of person. I work in food and beverage. I like really good wine. I like food like foie gras and like ricotta cheese and like fucking, you know, duck breasts. And I need to eat a nice seared black and blue rare ribeye on a fucking Tuesday. Like, because I'm a bitch. You know what I mean? I can't just be fine with getting ShopRite chicken fingers and just like saying, okay, it's not going to be a 3-course meal tonight. I'm just going to heat up some chicken fingers because it is what it is. Because life ain't that great. No. I got to make a whole thing because my life revolves around what I'm eating and drinking. So it bothers me that I cannot get a Dunkin' Donuts coffee with simple syrup or agave nectar. But then I thought about it. If this is the blue collar coffee shop, what do blue collar people love more than flavors? That's a blue collar thing. Flavors. There are people of flavors, right? And there are people of caramel, sugar shit, latte. There are people of, you know, their snacks revolve around things like Gushers, and fruit roll-ups, right? This is the thing, you know. Their potato chips, they're not getting like here's my potato chip. It's either salt and vinegar because I don't have a soul, or it's dark russet. And this is the potato chip that you can do things with. You get a potato chip, you make a nice cheese dip, and you can dip it into something because it's not packed with fake artificial flavor, right?
Yeah, no pepperoni pizza chips for you, right?
That's my potato chip. It's just a nice either dark russet chip or a little bit of salt and vinegar to take the fucking edge off, right? But yeah, the blue collar potato chip is the bacon mac and cheese. The blue collar potato chip is the spicy chicken teriyaki chip. You know, it's 9 different chemicals that make up spicy chicken teriyaki. So they go to their coffee shop and they get 2 pumps of caramel, 1 pump of hazelnut because they like flavors. And their flavors of the day are caramel, hazelnut with a little more on the caramel side.
Ooh.
And there's nothing I can do to infiltrate that. I have to just accept it. There's nothing I can do. I guess this is what white privilege deserves, right? We deserve to not have everything at all times. We deserve to have a little bit of a limited selection. So maybe I think I probably deserve that, and that's fine. But, you know, I do think, too, though, I mean, with just a simple ingredient like that, I mean, would you not grow your sales exponentially? Like, am I on an island here with this?
That would be delicious. I'm a fan of it. But I have to admit, I kind of have a toddler-type coffee of choice. So what I do is I do coffee with Haagen-Dazs vanilla bean ice cream.
You do, I know. Because you're high on sugar all the time. I know.
Not always. Sometimes black, but sometimes you just... it's a nice little kick in there.
That's called like an affogato or some horse shit. Like there's a name for that. Look, if you go to Blue Lane Coffee Shop, it's a good coffee shop. They have that on the menu. It's like affogato or something. Scoop of vanilla ice cream in like a fucking Americano, and it just melts in. You still taste the coffee, and the ice cream acts as a simple syrup. It acts as a milk and simple syrup in one. Which is essentially what ice cream is. So
exactly.
You're not like, you know, you're not far off there. But I don't know, man. I just it's the coffee shop for the blue collar, hardworking folks. You know, what if at least not all of their kids are on drugs? That's the regular Dunkin' Donut goer. That's the one that gets the box of Joe, brings it home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hardworking people that built America. They're the people that go to Dunkin', and the people who built America, the people who built the skyscrapers, who are on the union jobs, they need flavors.
Blue collars want what they want.
There's no way around that. I think I'm going to, throughout this show, my goal, and maybe you have goals for me, I hope you do, because I need a lot of help, but my goal for you is to elevate your food and beverage experience on the day-to-day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can we do that?
Absolutely. And I feel like part of the Digestif, I mean, I'm going to be eating more and more, 4 meals a day, growing.
I want to take you out to dinner. I need to take you out to dinner once a week, and we need to be that, like, come off like a promiscuous gay couple, but we need to really, like, wine and dine. And, you know,
do it up.
I want to get more consistent, you know, flagrant items in your,
palate.
on your palate, in your health pyramid. I want to like get you eating more douchey things on like a Wednesday afternoon, you know, get your reps up with that. And then we'll just look like that swanky, wanna be swankier than they are New York City gay couple that moved to Somerville because of COVID. We would rock that look. Me and you.
Oh, we can pull it off, bro. Go big.
Wolfgang's. Dude, we should go to Wolfgang's and just make everybody feel uncomfortable because they're you walk in that building, it's 50 years behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's 50 years behind. You walk into a good steakhouse as two well-dressed men who are happy to be together. Hey.
Exactly. I'm working on increasing the palate too. Started hosting like little mini parties, events here every week. We bring in like a chef, like our buddy who like likes to cook. We get different like ingredients, pair it with different cocktails and stuff, and we're trying to like, you know, just never made that sauce combination before. Give it a goog, throw it in, try to like, mix it up. So it's good to get different.
You've shown an appreciation for this.
Yeah,
you definitely have. Yeah.
Definitely.
I had I'm a little tight for cash right now because I've been trying to take advantage of this crypto crash, man. I've been investing.
Oh, good.
Investing.
You,
man. I've been investing hard. I've been trying to take every little $100 here, $100 there, just like every other day, try to, stack it up. Not Doge, because I'm trying to learn more about it. And from what I've gathered up to this point is that you want to invest in something that has a set amount that at some point can't be mined, right? So the value of that set amount can only go dramatically higher as more and more banks adopt this as an international form of currency, right? That seems to be like the very basic Lincoln log principles of crypto.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I've also never felt more vulnerable in it because I don't understand it, and the people that are in it doing it well, man, they're so many steps ahead of me at this point. I am so in with the masses of lemmings now getting to the party late. Mm-hmm. Crypto is a gigantic, awesome party in the desert that 18 people were partying at for 3 years, and now 200 million people are showing up late.
Boosh.
with a 6-pack of Keystone Light, nothing to bring to the table, and just missing out on all of it. There was good drugs, there was fucking hot chicks, there was all the best bands performed on the early show. Now you got the late night bands, the real underground guys. It's a party that you were at late. So what happens at a party that you come to late? You start taking advice from people who are there to wrong you. It's a vulnerable world to dive into because you want to share with people that you're investing in this. You're proud of it. You think you're in the party now. Even though you got a couple grand invested, these motherfuckers invested $100,000 before the thing was anything. They've already made out. They've already banked out. So you tell people about it, and it's like it's just such an opportunity just to get fucked over. Like I was talking to a guest at my establishment, smoking attractive European woman, married woman, big rock on her finger, married to some financial person. She made it very clear early on she was in some sort of financial world, definitely an investor, and just had that whole Eastern European vibe of I have all the answers and you need them. Right? Isn't that a beautiful vibe? It's that Czechoslovakian, Hungarian, Yugoslavian type of vibe of like, I have all the answers. You don't know what I'm up to, and you're never going to find out. And if you want to, you can keep talking to me until you get metaphorically fucked in the ass. That's every conversation with these types of women. If you ever dated one, you probably have gotten fucked in the ass, but physically. But if you never have, this is the type of person that is just built to do this, right? And I'm talking to her. I like the alliteration here. I am a crypto cuck. That's what I realized. I am a crypto cuck. I'm late to the game, and my wife's getting fucked by someone that was in the game earlier. I'm a crypto fucking cuck, right? I'm sitting there being all crypto cucky, talking about how, I just bought some more Ethereum the other day. She's like reading all over me like this guy is ripe to be manipulated. So I'm going to manipulate him. She starts talking about all the things you need to invest in, all the right NFTs and stuff, which I know a little bit about NFTs. So I'm like, okay, that checks out. And then you could tell she just starts throwing haymakers at me. She's like, what the fuck can I get this guy to do?
Wow.
And she's like, well, have you heard of MUDs? And she's like, MUDS. That's the abbreviation for MUDs. I'm like, no, what is that? And this bitch who is from clearly not this country, right? She starts explaining that the next hot thing is MUDs. She goes, it's like, have you ever collected baseball cards as a kid? Like the Topps cards and stuff. It's a company, and the former CEO was involved with Disney. So okay, so he's involved in child sex trafficking. Great, but that wasn't where she was going with it. She was saying, so he turned Disney from this to this amount of money, overnight, acting like this guy is a soothsayer, and she's like, so it's a great CEO behind it. It's all about the brands of America's nostalgia. Topps is the American nostalgia brand. We all had Topps trading cards, and she's like, it's a bunch of different brands, and there's no way it's guaranteed to blow up. And the way she pitched it was so much better than how I'm regurgitating it awfully into this microphone right now. And I bought $300 of it. Because
is it moving?
No, and it won't. And it will not. But the reality is, how the fuck do I know? She is so ahead of me in the game. She knew the pitch. She's like, you know what? She's a baby Elon Musk. Elon tweets about Dogecoin. The thing skyrockets for 4 days. She's a baby Elon. Little baby Ukrainian woman Elon running around talking about MUDs. I'm going to tell a couple idiot fucking millennial douchebag white guys about MUDs. Raise my bank account a few points for the next couple of days, and I'll cash out. It's like there are so many steps ahead of us. I'm so late to the game, and I'm just gonna watch all my money become invested and then manipulated.
It's part of the system now.
At this point, it's like I'm too late to the party. At this point, I gotta drink the beer they have. It's all stale. I gotta drink the punch they have. It's lined with Everclear. I'm in a full-blown blackout at 3 a.m. All the talent at the party's gone, and I have one chick with a cleft lip telling me about MUDs. That's where the party's gone. That is the world of crypto. It's just like the vast majority of us came after the cops came. The cops came at 1:30, shut the thing down. The party moved on. You know where it is? It's on Mars. That's where the party moved to. It's on fucking Mars. And we're sitting here just like, I mean, we've been reading about this stuff for years, and the reality is it's like it's just going to become the next thing. I mean, there's no way crypto is not going to become potentially the next worldwide currency if you have any sense of logic. Not saying there's also a very good chance it won't, but if it does, what's the first thing you're going to say? Oh, of course.
Even though you doubted it for a decade or whatever.
Yeah, of course. And I've accepted, I think, my role as a crypto cuck. That's what I am. I know I got to be a part of it. I'm going to get pwned by it, and I'm going to just, sit back, take my beating, and go from there.
I had some friends that were big into it in like 2013 out in Brooklyn, and like it was like the one guy in the apartment that was like really into it, and like got some people excited about it. He invested a bunch, and then everyone just shat on him for it for years. They're like, "Oh yeah, screw you, you're an idiot." Blah, blah, blah. And then just
where's
thousands later, he's doing good.
Yeah,
he's doing good.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that's at Nurserat Steakhouse ordering the golden steak. He's getting those little golden flakes on the end of the steak. Those are where the crypto people are eating right now. They're at Nurserat. They're putting gold particles in their body. He's taking those particles. He's slathering them on his cock. He's having women just like suck the gold off his dick. That's what that man's doing right now. You get in early, man.
Get in early, baby.
You get in early, and that's the name of the game. I mean, what is going to be the next thing? Who the fuck knows?
Ooh, that's crazy. I feel like this thing is going to be big. I don't know how soon it'll be. Like the next phone apparatus, like if it goes from, I don't know, whatever that will be big.
You just said nothing.
Could be Google Glasses. Could be contact lenses where you can like control things.
Contact lenses.
It could be where you are just able to see the screen on the walls. Like the environment becomes more of the, instead of having to like just hold the phone. It's like more of the world is digital.
Okay. All right. You know what? Started off super weak, ended really strong. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, because you know so much more about this than me. I almost felt like from your first statement, I'm like, you're better than that. But then you're brought up full circle. I'm like, oh yeah, here's a whole idea I can't even envision. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why I'm trying to become tied to the hip with you. Because one of these days, we're gonna wake up and the world's gonna be different than it was the day before, like it has been for the last year and a half. And you're gonna be like, we got to go do this now, and I'm gonna be like, where do I meet you?
Let's fucking go.
I want you to pick me up in an unmarked white van. I'm gonna hop in the back, and I'm just gonna let you do whatever you want to me. I'm gonna be like, where are we going, Robbie? I know Lucas.
Full trust.
Lucas is going to be back there hogtied, all like dirty, stain-ridden TD Ameritrade graphic tee. Not so fun now. The shirt's not so fun.
Blindfolded. I'll tell you later.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Bathroom.
You have the exact dynamic of a man who would lead a worldwide multi-dynamic heist. You would.
I guess that makes sense. My favorite movie is Ocean's 11.
There you go. There you go.
It's a good heist.
This has been the Digestif, though, guys. You can follow us very shortly on Instagram at the Digestif for clips of the show, funny or maybe not so funny takes and interactions between myself, Mr. Robbie Sco, and our awesome producer Lucas, who's produced nothing. He sits there every day, and you're better as being parts of the conversation. Like a lot of podcast producers don't really say anything, but like you're like a little gem. You're like a little nugget of cream filling when you come into the conversation. It's like when you get one of those like nice Boston cream donuts and you take a bite, you get all that cream in your mouth. Yeah, that's a nice story update from how Lucas's job search is going. It's a nice little cream filled donut. It's really wonderful. But guys, I got a show coming up next month, running the full Vino comic set at Stand Up New York on June 16th. You can get tickets online at standupnewyork.com. There is a promo code now for that. Guess what the code is? The code is WINE. You go buy tickets now. It comes 4 $45 gets you admission to the show plus a complimentary wine tasting, red, white wine, and some cheese and crackers. You make a whole fucking day out of it. We're going to do a live interactive wine tasting throughout the show. We're going to learn about fermented grape juice. We're going to laugh a little bit. There's a bunch of really awesome comics on the show as well. And yeah, go to standupnewyork.com, type in promo code WINE for 15% off on the ticket price. It's going to be fun. I've been trying to get back into New York every Wednesday to do shows. It's been really nice. It's been nostalgic. It's felt like that much needed normalcy.
Nice.
This place is great, but come on, let's be real. I can do,
Nice to get up to the city.
It's back, man. New York is back. It feels good. And it feels good that this place we're in is only like a fucking 45-minute, 50-minute car ride away. It's fine.
Back.
Hop on the Parkway, right up north. You're there.
Exactly.
Robbie, Lucas, where can they see you? Anything notable in the next couple weeks coming up? You want to plug?
We just played in Asbury Park. Want to talk about Asbury Park?
We're out of time. We didn't get it in. But
I wonder whose fault that is.
Mine.
No, the guy that talked for 55 minutes the entire fucking episode. I'm sorry.
We're good. It's I like to just keep the updates on Instagram, depending on when y'all see this. So just Instagram.com/RobbieSco. Playing a lot throughout the tri-state area. A lot of Jersey. Lucas, similar thing. That saxophone
guy. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. Nice.
We do the Instagram updates for now.
All right. Until next time, guys. Take care. It's been real.